Social media has obviously grown more popular and everyone's using it around us. So with that, obviously, for us, there's a lot more interest in the impact of social media on well-being and mental health. When we're working with athletes as a mental health team, we're encouraging our athletes to think about the negative experiences they've had on social media and then on reflection and how they balance that, kind of encouraging them on what are their strategies and what are their tips in terms of how they look after themselves when they're using it.
People want to see the true you. They want to know what you're up to, you know, what your opinions are on certain things. And I feel like social media is the best way for them to be able to get access to your life. And that's why social media is so important, because the more people get to know who you are, the more they're more interested in your career, the more likely they're going to turn up to watch you compete and support you.
I think one of the positive aspects, especially as an athlete, is that it's quite easy to connect with the community within your sport. So for me, I have a lot of people reach out to me, and it's so easy over social media, just send a direct message, and obviously people can follow what I'm doing, I can follow what other people are doing, and it just gives you a little bit of a sense of community. I can contact people who live hours away from me, or they can contact me, and I think that's definitely one of the positives for me, is that it gives you that sense of community and it's easy to access. It gives me a sense of support, especially if I'm at a big competition and I get messages from people wishing me luck, and it's so easy to do so. You log onto your phone and you can tag someone and say, oh, good luck, or you can congratulate people, and it helps me feel supported, and it helps me feel like I can share my success with everyone who chooses to follow me on social media, and also vice versa. If I'm following someone, they're then choosing to share their success with me, and it's nice because it gives you that sense of connecting.
All the positive comments that I get from other people, it definitely helps my mental health. There are so many people supporting me and interested in what I do, and I think it also helps me have that motivation to come back stronger and then show them what I'm made of, and know that whatever they're doing to help support me in the social media aspect is giving me that drive to continue and make them proud of me.
What I can find very positive about social media is, very connecting. It's one of the biggest things and biggest platforms, social media. You can definitely connect with other athletes, find out what they're doing, if they're training, with their training plans, or just to get yourself out there as an athlete, because it's important to get yourself out there.
When you go on social media, you get a lot of support, very positive comments. But then again, sometimes you'll get that one or two negative comments. It can be anything as well, isn't it? Sometimes it will be of how you look or how you performed, for example. And yeah, 95% of my comments will be positive, but then sometimes you just sort of naturally gravitate towards that 5%, and that 5% is what sticks. And so it could have a negative impact.
I've definitely had no negative experiences yet. I think social media is very easy to get consumed into. I think as much as there's a lot of positives about social media, there's also quite a few negatives. It's very easy to get sucked into these ideas of maybe demands of what you think you should be doing, or it can give you feelings of not feeling good enough, or feeling like, oh, I should be here, or especially I should look like that, or I should be doing that, or kind of stuff along those lines. I think the main thing is it just drags my mood down a little bit, especially if I wake up in the morning and I find myself scrolling on social media for even an hour or even 30 minutes, then that then delays me starting my day by 30 minutes or an hour, and that then gives me this feeling of unproductiveness. When I could have kick-started and done something that's good for my well-being, but instead I've been on my phone scrolling on social media, seeing what everyone else is doing, when actually I should be focusing on what I'm doing.
There's a lot of negatives from social media, sadly. Depends who you are as a person, if it gets to... When I was a bit younger, I'd say social media, I cared about what people thought, I cared about likes, I cared about what people commented, and that's really now where I'm at now. I'm 29. When I was a bit like 18, 19, in my young teenage, adolescent years, I really cared about what people thought about me on socials, if it wasn't a cool picture or a good picture, or if I wasn't doing well in table tennis, and I didn't want to post it. So it can portray that I'm not doing as well as I want to. It can get me down. It can get you obviously suffer from anxiety. Some people suffer from depression. Not being too much of a consumer of social media. So
I understand that you have to update family, friends and fans, and it's important to do so, but it's just either getting someone else to do that you trust, or if it has to be you, it's fine. Getting that content out there and just getting out. And that way you're able to just focus in the real world, acknowledging the fact that social media is a virtual world, it's not real, and as well being the content creator and not so much the consumer at the time, because it can have a negative impact on their well-being.
If I start to feel my mental health is dipping a little bit, just going, okay, you know, I'm going to spend a little bit less time on my phone and on social media and a little bit more time out there doing things that I know are a very natural way of increasing my mood and, you know, improving my well-being. But kind of, yeah, you know, the morning of competition, I wouldn't choose to be scrolling social media, more because it's a distraction. And for me, I want to be focused on, not too focused, but focused on what I'm doing. And also, you know, it's very easy to be, you know, even slightly affected by something that you've seen on social media that can then, you know, especially at a time when you're in high stress like a competition, it's very easy to then go into that spiral of, and it might have more of an effect on me personally than it would maybe at another time when I'm not competing.
Sometimes you can feel like nervous to like post things or worried about something, but like it's your social media. You can do whatever you want with it and have fun with it. If you enjoy posting, if you enjoy showing people what you're up to, like it's good to just spread the word and spread your joy.
Try to be as real as possible on socials, because you can, you know, be very fake or not authentic. And it's very important to stay authentic, I think, so people get a real gist of who you are and your beliefs and stuff like that. And one massive thing for me, an important thing that I see through social media, what it does has a massive impact on others, is you can compare. I sometimes still do it, or sometimes I want this latest table tennis gear, or I want the latest cycling gear because I'm into cycling. And I always compare people's lives and think, oh, they live a perfect life. But in reality, they don't know you don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. So yeah, it's very important to make sure you have a reality check within yourself and make sure you're content and happy within yourself. And remember, that's just a social platform. And yeah, don't compare yourself as much as possible. And maybe even give the highs and lows, you know, because that's what it's all about as an athlete. Mm-hmm. Not every athlete can just be on highs, you know, that's not how life is, you know. Actually give your lows and tell if you're injured, and show that when you're rehabbing, or show when you're not in the best shape, and just show, look, it's not always hunky-dory, it's always, you know, there are highs and lows in sport, and that's definitely a thing that I think athletes should definitely promote.